Diamond game. And we'll go to a Masters level game.
All right, so we got Pure and Wonder.
Yes, so this is one of my games. The other games are mine.
Okay, cool.
This is my one of my Smurf accounts that's on the. It's my C account that's attached to my main account.
Okay.
I've been playing here for the last 2 weeks because I don't feel confident in my own StarCraft ability as a Grandmaster.
Okay, yeah. So you're feeling Masters right now.
I suppose. I mean, yeah. Let's go with that because like yesterday I beat like a top Grandmaster. So like I have these games where I can do that. I do know this person, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So. Right, yeah. I like Wonder's fun here.
Wonder is right. Early is actually another StarCraft player.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's on Sloth.
That's extra funny.
Rise is like a solid Masters 1 player, by the way. I'm sorry, Wonder.
Gotcha.
Just to bring a little balance, I think we all suck.
Hey,
Tarball, so true. We do all suck. but even as like a diamond player, a platinum player, you shouldn't like. Yeah, it's just true. Sometimes you'd be like, yeah, I'm not a good player. I'm like, but also like, I know for a fact that Neeb has played StarCraft games and said, "Wow, I suck." Okay, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's why I kind of harp on that a lot. I actually don't like it when people say that. Like, I think it's good to be critical and say, oh, this was really bad, this is a glaring mistake or whatever, but I don't think that the fact that you make those means that you suck, right? Like, Pure points this out to me a lot, like, that I probably should give myself a little bit more credit even for being in Diamond. Like, that's 80th percentile of humans doing a thing, right? Like, that's not bad. It's just, you know, you can look at the exponential skill curve in this game and be like, wow, like, compared to people who are really good, I am not doing a good job right now, right? And so I think that's why we all have that.
So I made one mistake with this adept. I did not click the right Hellion, which means that the Hellion lives, and both of them just take damage for the trade of the adept. That was a mistake in just a second of movement where I lose the adept and don't get anything for it other than, I think, an SCV and a bunch of lost mining time from not being mindfulness. This is an... I saw a day or two before this game was played the exact same build played by a better Protoss player than myself against a better Terran player than Wonder, and it was like a mirror image of that. So like when I say I like to see how things roll from every scenario, I kind of like the way that I learn StarCraft and play StarCraft is by memorizing a billion scenarios and answers and solutions to all of the different possible questions you could ask in StarCraft.
Okay, yeah. Makes
so
sense.
I saw this game and I was like, I know the answer. And I think I actually executed it. Like, I was a little better than my Terran opponent, like opposed to the Protoss player who was still better than his Terran opponent. But like, I just deal with this. So like, imagine what this Terran is doing as a glaive adept, all in or pressure, and that's the equivalent because he wants to kill workers. And the Protoss player does not want to lose his workers, and depending on how fast all this harass dies or how many workers it kills is going to determine the pace of this game.
Okay, makes sense.
Any critique yet?
So at what point in this game did you know that it was this?
When I started to build the pylon at the top, up there, I was like, I think I saw the 2 Hellions with the adept, and I said, okay, it's either a Hellion run by or it's a Hellion drop. So I built this pylon up at the top right as the medevac was coming in, and I was warping in Stalkers all ready to deal with it.
Okay, so
the second that I saw Hellions, I kind of had an idea of 2 options of what he could be doing. And I did not know, like, for instance, at that point in time, that he was also going to be doing a Liberator harass in the main while doing a Hellion in the natural sort of a thing. But it's Terran, and there's something you need to know about Terran. It is, if Terran players are magicians. They want you to look at the left hand while the right hand is something else, and that is something you should always know about Terran. Always, always, always. If there is a drop coming into your main, deal with it.
Yeah.
Yes, deal with it as fast as you can, or say like, all right, this is something I have to focus on because it's here. I'm going to deal with it. But in the back of your mind, you should know this is not his whole plan.
Right.
This is a Terran player. as a Protoss player, you're this guy, you're this big linebacker guy that wants to like hold his ground and spread out your stance, and someone's gonna come and try to push you over. And that's Terran. He's a smaller guy than you, but if he can get you off balance, he can push you over. And that's usually how Terran. Not always. They can do big pushes, but sometimes, most of the time, Terran is gonna try and push you from the right, and then push you from the left, and then push you from the right, and try to get you to tip over slowly. That's how Terran plays StarCraft. They're going to try and get you off balance, because if they can get you off balance, they can push you over. But if you stay balanced the whole time, they're just going to bounce off of you and be like, hey, this guy's unbeatable.
Yeah. Okay.
So Terran players are magicians.
That's definitely been my experience, but I like that a lot. That's a really good way to put it. So my criticism is that if you knew it was this, you should put these two gateway boys here so that you can have your stalkers in the little half wall, and then the Hellions don't get in, and they don't get to kill your couple of probes that they kill. That would be my...
That's a good point. I do want to have the stalkers able to hit any drop that's coming, and like step back and hit it again, so that by the time it gets to the mineral line, maybe it's already dead.
So you mean you like having the stalkers by the assimilator here in case the drop comes at the south end of your natural?
I was thinking of the stalkers at the top of my main.
Oh, yeah. I'm totally fine with those being there.
Oh, okay.
I think that's good. I think the two gateways that you made in your main need to be at your natural choke.
That's
and then even if you're concerned about the drop coming in from the south, you could have 3 of those stalkers that are on that hotkey group or whatever. Actually, I don't have your hotkeys in front of me, but I'm assuming they're hotkeyed. You could have 3 of them kind of where they are, and the other 2 in the little half wall, like I'm saying, to kind of keep it blocked off totally.
Yeah, so that is a good point to critique. The fact that there is no wall, and it knew from such an early point. Like, I chronoed out the first adept, sent it directly across. I didn't even wait for the Reaper, by the way. So that was as fast as my adept can get there, and I saw Hellions.
Right.
So why is there no wall? That's a good question to ask. It's because the second pylon was not at the low ground. Because it's kind of less common to see like these Hellion and Cyclone builds from Terran right now in the meta. But that doesn't mean that it can't be there. It's just a mechanical thing where like you need to send the probe down, and if the probe does not get sent down, you're like, I need a pylon now.
Yeah.
And you build it in the natural.
Yep, I've absolutely done that.
And then it becomes a timing thing where you're saying, I need to course correct for this game. There's no pylon down at the natural. There should be a wall there, but I'm not going to wait for the pylon build so I can build the wall. I need the gateways now, because if I do not have them, I will have less units.
Right.
And it is better to have more units and a suboptimal like position in your buildings than to just not have those units. Because people are like, I need a wall. It's like, well, the wall doesn't matter if you don't have units.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter that you place your buildings in the correct places if you're dead because you didn't place them at the correct time.
Exactly. So you're totally right that the positioning of these buildings could be better, and it isn't. So good point.
Cool.
So the Hellions got cleaned up. The Hellions got cleaned up. I think the medevac, did this survive? I don't know if the medevac survived.
I already don't remember either.
What is it? The other harass got cleaned up as well. So the Reaper died, Cyclone, the Hellions died, and the Liberator died very quickly. And then the Protoss player goes across the map here with an observer because he's seen this before and says, oh, what if I attack you right now if you invested this much into harass, like with Hellions? Game over.
Yeah.
Something to notice from the Terran point of view. This is a Masters 1 Terran player. He's a very good Terran player. Keep that in mind. But there are better Terran players. While he's doing all this harass with the Liberator in the one place and the Hellions in the other place and trying to get the right positioning to get that attack to work, he forgets to build his add-on for the stim. So stim is late, so stim gets sniped. He loses.
And it was almost done when you killed it.
It was, exactly. So it should have actually been done. So, like... So it shouldn't be a I lose stim, I lose the game. It should be a there's more units than I can deal with, I lose the game. So, like, that was just an extra thing that should not have happened for him at the Masters level of play is what I'm trying to point out. So, like, he should have had stim earlier. He should have had more units, but he didn't have those units. There was a bunker at the natural, but that's it. Like, he had, like, what, 2 Marines? So...
Yeah.
Because while he's doing all these things, he can't build enough units, like, because the macro didn't hold up at that point in the game.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to find advantages and differences in different leagues, is how well can they continue to macro behind what they're focusing on. Because when we say multitasking as a human player, that doesn't exist. Humans actually cannot multitask, to be honest. We do one thing at a time, and we switch to other things very quickly. That's what we call multitasking. It's not actually true multitasking.
Right. Also, this is how computers work as well.
Yeah. So yeah, this Terran player was microing, and he builds all these barracks. They're not producing units. They're not building add-ons. We show up, he dies.
Right. And maybe a player at a lower level, or who hadn't just seen the scenario, right, is like me in that game, I'm feeling scared, like, okay, what's the next thing they're going to do, right?
Exactly.
I'm not going to be like, oh, let's move out and go get them, right? And so in that case, your opponent's response is actually really smart, right? It's